Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Happy Thanksgiving. It'll be Thanksgiving later this week, and want to express. I hope you have a gathering together with family and friends to help be mindful of the things within this world that you've been given, um, that are all a gift, and to be able to give of yourselves in the spirit of thanksgiving towards others. With all that said, I'm dealing with a very tough topic today. Uh, so hang with me, I guess. Um, I, I continue to be relentless, Thanksgiving or not. So, if you're wanting a turkey feasting, pilgrim laden, just tell us something warm and fuzzy, ain't happening. You'll get that in a lot of your pulpits this coming Sunday, or you just did. Um, so, I'm not here for that. Okay. As many as, because there's too much work to be done, just saying. As many as 69 women have accused Donald Trump of sexual misconduct. Okay, so this is where we're going. Yet their stories have faded into the chasm of just being another accuser in the public mind. That's pretty sad. With the exception of E. Jean Carroll, who won millions in court after Trump denied assaulting her, most of these women have faded from public view. Women like Natasha Stoyov, who says Trump assaulted her in 2005 when she was on assignment with People magazine to write about his wedding anniversary. The alleged assault happened as a 7 months pregnant Melania Trump was upstairs changing. And Natasha said, my one regret in that moment is that I didn't deck Donald Trump. Women like Jill Harth have been forgotten. She was a makeup artist who sued Trump for sexual harassment and attempted rape. Karina Virginia, a yoga instructor who accused Trump of groping her at the U.S. Open back in 1998. Alva Johnson, a former human resources executive and event planner who worked for Trump for his 2016 campaign and accused him of kissing her on the job. Jessica Leeds, a retired stockbroker who accused Trump of molesting her on a plane in the late 70s. President Trump, same man, right, who famously bragged in the Access Hollywood tape that when you're a male star, you can grab women by the genitals without repercussion. Of course, he was more crass in how he said it. Mr. Trump has amassed a huge stack of accusations of doing just that and more. Depending on how you count them, there's anywhere from 19 to 26 to 67 women who have accused Trump of sexual misconduct. Women who have accused him, and these are, their words of what he's done to her. So don't throw this at me, Women who've accused Trump of, he squeezed my butt, he eyed me like a piece of meat, he stuck his hand up my skirt, he thrust his genitals on me, he forced his tongue into my mouth, and he rummaged around in my vagina. And those are just some of the phrases of accusations towards Mr. Trump. Of course, Trump has accused these women of being political operatives, plotting a conspiracy against us, the American people, and that these women are looking for their 10 minutes of fame. And many of these women, well, really, look at her. She's not my type. Even with the force of these numbers, these women still have trouble being heard and being believed. These women have seen their stories become political footballs. They have all received death threats. Several have had to explain to their kids why their classmates were calling mom a liar and a whore. All of this behavior just kind of lays the foundation, the groundwork of something that happened recently on Air Force One. Bloomberg reporter Catherine Lucy asked President Donald Trump about being in the Epstein emails, and Trump responded to her, "Quiet, Piggy, quiet, quiet." The president, was wagging his finger as he said, "Quiet, quiet, Piggy," to give backup to his verbal insult. Why does Trump's insult of a female reporter not register in the evangelical male world as a problem? The White House defended Trump's insult, right, with a lame smokescreen saying this reporter behaved in an inappropriate and unprofessional way towards her colleagues on the plane. And if you're going to hash it out, you've got to be able to take it too. How could any other leader get away with this kind of abusive and insulting accusation without facing consequences? After 10 years of Trump's insulting rhetoric, I'm convinced MAGA evangelical Trump supporters are undisturbed by Trump's language. They have barely flinched at his use of profanity and his racist and his sexist remarks. They refuse to acknowledge his transgressions against women. Trump's understanding of women has featured a perverse sexual tint. His remarks are about physical attributes, sexual parts, and are often just perverse. For Trump, physical attraction seems more important than a person's work experience or educational background. Here's just a brief review of some of Trump's remarks over the years about the physical appearance of women. On Bette Midler, he said, "Well, she talks about my hair, but I'm not allowed to talk about her ugly face or body. Okay, so I won't." Is this a double standard? On Arianna Huffington, he said, "Unattractive, both inside and out. I fully understand why her former husband left her for a man. He made a good decision." On Rosie O'Donnell, "We're all a little chubby, but Rosie's just worse than most of us." But it's not the chubbiness. Rosie is a very unattractive person, both inside and out. On Carly Fiorina, Trump said, "Look at her face." Would anybody vote for that? Can you imagine that face? That face be the face of our next president? On Megyn Kelly, she gets out and she starts asking me all sorts of ridiculous questions. You could see that there was blood coming out of her eyes, blood coming out of her everywhere. On Kim Kardashian, he was asked if her butt was big, and he said, "Well, absolutely, it's record-setting." In the old days, they'd say she had a bad body. On his daughter, Ivanka Trump, this is his daughter now, when asked if Ivanka, then 24, had breast implants. This is what Donald Trump said. Imagine, he's saying this about his daughter. She's always been very voluptuous. She does have a very nice figure. If she weren't my daughter, perhaps I'd be dating her. Ew, really? On his wife, Melania Trump, when asked if he would stay with her if she was disfigured in a car accident, and he responded by, "Well, how do her breasts look?" On Paris Hilton, he said, now somebody who a lot of people don't give credit to, but in actuality is really beautiful, is Paris Hilton. I've known Paris Hilton from the time that she's 12. Her parents are friends of mine. And the first time I saw her, which I guess was when she was 12, and the first time I saw her, she walked into the room and I said, who the hell is that? You said that about a 12-year-old? On Princess Diana, 3 weeks after her death, he was asked if he could have nailed her. And his response about Princess Diana was, I think I could have. On his daughter, Tiffany Trump, well, I think she's got a lot of Marla in her. She's a really beautiful baby. She's got Marla's legs. And then motioning to his chest, Trump added, we don't know whether she's got this part yet, but time will tell. On a female contestant on The Apprentice, he said, that must be a pretty picture. You dropping to your knees. Wow. Recently, while hosting Saudi Crown Prince and Prime Minister Mohammed bin Salman in the Oval Office, Trump raged at ABC News chief White House correspondent Mary Bruce, who had the audacity to ask about the Crown Prince's role in the murder of Washington Post Jamal Khashoggi in 2018. Bruce also asked about Trump's family business dealings in Saudi Arabia. And with the cameras rolling, Trump called Mary Bruce a terrible person and a terrible reporter, and called for her network to lose its license. He said, it's not the question I mind, it's your attitude. I think you're a terrible reporter. It's the way you ask these questions. You start off with a man who is highly respected, asking him a horrible, insubordinate, and just a terrible question. You could even ask that same question nicely. What is so obviously uncouth and dehumanizing to most people fails to register with MAGA evangelicals. Trump has no filters. He lacks any sense of good manners, decorum, and respect. His bad boy reputation has gained him maximum support from white evangelical males. They don't care about how Trump treats women. In fact, I believe they like it. Why? Because being able to talk and act in these atrocious ways and not be judged or held accountable is a sign of strength to MAGA males. It undergirds pre-existing evangelical attitudes towards women. It just does. His tough guy persona fuels the fantasy of male supremacy. Trump's version of the treatment of women has built on evangelical understandings, but his version has extended distinct rhetorical markers that include sexist locker room talk, a perverse sexual tint, and the branding of women as objects. It's a dehumanizing tactic. And yet the most powerful man in the world remains unaccountable as the male monopoly train keeps rolling along and retaining the full support of an evangelical movement, now seemingly bereft of its own ethical standards. It's sickening. And it infuriates me. I don't get it. Am I just out on a limb and lost? I don't get it. How this man continues to do what he does without any comeuppance. I don't understand this world. And people remain silent. And people will have their turkey dinners. They'll have their, hopefully, family gatherings. And just go on with their lives. While these women who have been assaulted by this Donald that's been elected try to move on with their lives. You all take care. I'll try to take a breath this week and breathe a little, right? Don't ask me to get perspective because I think I have perspective. Please take care. And I do hope you have a peaceful Thanksgiving. And you find ways to give of yourselves to others in a way that honors Christ. And you continue to strive to stand for what is right and true and honest and good in this world. God bless you. Peace be with you. Love you.